So it's something I want to go back to, man, that you said earlier. When you say you might not agree with all the Jeezy decisions, are you talking about like when he did the verses?
I mean, at first, you know what I'm saying, the verses kind of bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was strictly looking at that shit from a street perspective. Like, what would the street do? Street ain't finna sit here and let no nigga, you know what I'm saying, try him in no shape, form, or fashion.
Did you know Pookie Loc?
Yeah, I knew Pookie Loc. Okay. Yeah, I knew Pookie Loc, but I ain't with Pookie Loc.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't now one of my partners. You know what I'm saying? I mean, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Much love, condolences, or whatever need to be placed, but I don't Pookie Loc. That I ain't with. You know, Jeezy didn't with Pookie Loc. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get the facts up. You know, Pookie Loc then was some that was crip that had came along the you know to basically, you know, man, in this life, man, you got that come along, tag along, man. You know, everybody got a position to play. You know what I'm saying? Pookie Loc position, you know, was always his position. The niggas had never been really successful in life. Them just some gang banging, you know what I'm saying, that you know, wanted to get on, was willing to do anything to get on. So everybody had to make that decision. They made the decision to go over there and, you know, do what they doing, trying to win cool points and satisfy the bosses. And so, you know what I'm saying, he got his life took, trying to appease the bosses, you know what I'm saying, trying to get in position. As we all get our life took, sabotage ourselves, you know, to try to get in a certain position for whatever reason. The motivation behind that reason, you know what I'm saying? But your question was
Did you said you didn't agree with all his decision making, and I was wondering
the Icy
like,
situation.
Did the verses bother you?
The versus situation with Jeezy was this. I'm gonna be real, man. I think Jeezy made a very, very phenomenal contribution, man, by the role that he played after I was able to sit back and analyze, you know, the bigger picture. Because Gucci and Jeezy, those two individuals are highly respected individuals. They have great influence on generations. You see what I'm saying? And whatever they do, people mimic and follow. You see what I'm saying? And just imagine how many people that follow Snow and look up to Snow. When he you know, allowed Gucci to do what he did, he just shoved that shit off his shoulder. You know how many people that probably are subjected or encounter a situation like that and say, damn, I'm finna do this shit like Snow did this shit, man. Instead of pulling out their gun and killing them off, it could be one of us that could have been on the other side of that gun that finna get murdered. But a nigga probably say, you know what, man, that I look up to Jeezy, man. I ain't that dumb shit, man. I'm finna take care of my family. I'm finna you know what I'm saying, be a pillar in my community, man. I ain't finna be a part of this, you know what I'm saying, this 99 percentile shooting up and killing up everything. I'm finna take this route that Snow took with Gucci. And that shit could save life. It could save your son's life. It could save my motherfucking son's life. Just by watching that model right there. That's deep. That's deep. So believe me, people was watching that. And people that Snow influenced saw that example that he led. I guarantee you, we may not know, but just that demonstration alone has saved numerous of lives already. That over in Boston, in the streets of Chicago, over here in Baltimore, down here in Miami, Florida. Somebody made that decision based on how Jeezy made his decision not to even pursue that. And a life was saved behind that. And it could have been a motherfucking our family life. A lot of time I be going through and I think about that shit. I be like, man, fuck this shit, my nigga. Let me keep it moving. Ain't even worth it. This shit bigger than that. That shit Probably stopped me from blowing the brains out. Knowing back in the day when I was in my quote Gucci mind state of mentality, according to what he displayed on the verse, I would have killed the on the spot. But just by seeing Jeezy make the move that he made, it was bigger than him. He could have easily said, "Fuck you, Gucci, let's go to war." He 100 million strong. He got 100 gonna go behind him. He ain't got to get hurt in the process. There's gonna be a lot of other soldiers like Pookie Loc them getting hurt in the process. But you know what? He been through that before. So he took the bigger route, man, and said, you know what, f that. I'm trying to inspire young to put their guns down through my real life example right here on this stage, where millions of people are watching. Yeah, it may make me look soft or embarrassing, but in all actuality, a can't question Jeezy's credibility. He lived his life. And that's coming from me. That's coming from a who done did that time in the pen, who done had motherfucking 13, 14 bodies out here in the street. You know what I'm saying? Who been on trial for murder. That coming from, you know, from me. And I ain't saying it because I know Jeezy. I'm telling the truth. Jeezy don't put no motherfucking money in my pocket. Jeezy don't pay my rent. Jeezy don't pay none of my mortgages. I'm just being on some real. I get respect where it's due, respect where it's due. You feel me? But just imagine how many lives that brother right there saved. Even if it's just 10 lives he saved. Those 10 brothers that still walking earth, able to provide for their families and be an example and role model in their communities, man.
That's right, because those 10 lives are going to affect more people and, you know, it keep going.
Yeah, man. So that's how we got to start thinking. We can't keep on thinking, you know what I'm saying, when I be around Jeezy, he'll tell me like, hey, go, don't be on that shit around me. He'll be laughing. Like, it's a mentality that we got. You know, once you elevate, you don't want to be, you know what I'm saying, amongst that mentality. Because that's going to keep us down here where we at. That's going to keep you saying, and that's going to keep me pulling fire. But we got to break those chains. That's why so many motherfucking murders in Macon, Georgia. That's why so much the poverty. That's why so much making bad decisions. That's why so many kids getting killed in the streets of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So we need somebody to be brave enough to be different. That was courageousness, man. He was strong enough and courageous and brave enough to be different.
That's what I thought after the fact. Doing it while it was going on, I kind of felt the way about it when he went to, you know, saying the things he said. But after the fact, when I sat back and analyzed it, you know, I say for the bigger picture, he did the best thing, you know. So yeah. I respected it.
Yeah. It was a hard pill to swallow. But the homie swallowed that pill. And he saved lives because he swallowed that pill. He took that sacrifice. That's kind of like the people that believe in Jesus. You know? They feel like Jesus made the sacrifice. He made that sacrifice. He was crucified on that cross. According to, you know, those who believe that. He took that sacrifice for other people to live. The homie was crucified on that motherfucking stage during verses. His pride, his ego. He was embarrassed. He was ashamed. But he took that crucifixion and it saved multiple lives, man. And it's going to always save lives and they're going to continue to save lives. So that's how we got to start looking at things. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that.